Welcome to this session of Functional Business Systems. In this session, we are going to learn more about organizational information systems and major types of systems in organizations. We will also be trying to understand from our previous learnings the levels of management. How do we integrate that with the types of systems in the organization? So the third topic for the discussion would be integration of levels of management with types of systems in the organizations. Information needs to flow continuously to all the departments in the organizations. Organizations are made up of different departments or sections. In every organization, these functional departments need information for decision making or execution of work. So timely flow of information is most important. Functional information systems are focused on increasing the efficiency and productivity of the internal departments and the exchange of information. Various activities amongst these departments are usually like generating of various types of reports and decision made on those types of reports. Not only that, the number of activities within every department is pre-scheduled and information pertaining to these activities needs to be exchanged for execution or other type of functional decisions. So there are multiple types of functions occurring within these internal systems. Let us try to understand the major functional systems in an organization. Some of the common found functional departments in every organization are finance department, human resource department, marketing department, production department, operations department, or there might be other departments like accounting, sales, supply chain, logistics. Every organization need not have same type of functional units. Organizations vary by their size and type of operations. Maybe it is a small organization, a medium or a large organization. It will still consist of a small department or maybe a medium number of departments, and when the organization is a very huge organization, it would definitely contain multiple departments or functional areas. Let us now try to understand the levels of management. In the previous sessions, we have already understood there is operational level, tactical level and strategic level. Organizations usually have operational level, middle level and higher level managements. Now in the operational level management, there are multiple routine tasks which are occurring. We have already discussed this in our previous sessions. The tactical level and the strategic level needs the information which is generated in the down layers of the functional departments. Now let us take a look at this diagram to understand the integration of major types of departments. Some of the major types of systems in the organizational departments are like sales and marketing, manufacturing and production, finance and accounting, human resources, operations, IT department, or it could be multiple other departments based on the type of the organization. Now in the diagram what we see there are three layers of management: the operational level, the management level and the strategic level. Now the operational level management are mostly engaged with routine tasks and they need transaction processing systems. In the types or classification of information systems, we understood transaction processing systems enable day-to-day activities and the information generated through the transaction processing systems flows up to the executive support systems or to the decision support systems. The diagram clearly indicates here at the operational level we have transaction processing systems, and the next level at the management level we have a mid-level management decision-making options. Now, in the top-level management, it is usually policy making, vision setting, goal setting, or standard setting. Now, these sort of information needs to flow from top to down. So there is information which is flowing from both the sides, like top to down and bottom up. In such a situation, information exchange is very important from one layer to other layer of organizations. Now we also need to understand at the operational level we have transaction processing system, and at the middle level we have decision support systems, or maybe executive support systems, and as we move up we have executive information system and management information system, which are spread across these various management layers. So an information system which is designed for the organizational purpose should fulfill exchange of information between these top, middle and down layers. Now in the vertical view of this diagram, we need to understand how every organization is compartmentalized or segregated or divided by the functional areas of its business occurrences. In the diagram, we see sales and marketing, manufacturing and production, finance and accounting, human resources, operations, information technology, and maybe if an organization has other type of departments, it might have vertical structure pertaining to that. Let us say, like if it is a pharmaceutical company, it might have a different set of functional areas. If it is a bank, there might be absence of manufacturing and production department. If it is an education institution, again it might not have manufacturing production department. It might have a particular functional area like marketing, admissions, examinations, library. So every organizational structure varies, and based on the organizational structure, these vertical functional areas are categorized, or they do vary from one organization to other organization. Now when we try to integrate the vertical layers and the horizontal layers, we see like top level management requires a different type of information or access to the information, and the middle and the operational level managements need a different type of information. Now when we say different type of information, we need to classify or organize, process the data based on the requirement for these managers. Maybe at the top level it is like we have senior managers, at the middle level we have tactical managers who make mid-level decisions, and at operational levels we have executives who perform day-to-day activities of business. Now when we integrate this, we see at the top level we see managers making a long-term decision like a 5 years plan which is pertaining to company's policies, procedures, or goal setting, mission, strategies, these sort of decisions. Now, they will definitely need the information about the organizational resources and activities, and that is what the information should flow from the bottom up to the top management. So, such information systems which provide very high level and relevant data pertaining to business decisions are called as strategic information systems. And these type of information systems do not run only on the internal information, they also require information from external market observations or external business environment observations. In business language, we call it as like external business environment, which consists of political, economic, sociological, technological, legal, socio-cultural and demographic data. Now all this information needs to be pulled in by different managers who are working in that functional areas, and that information should also be part of the business intelligence which is integrating all this vertical and horizontal layers. Now having understood how the vertical and the horizontal layers are integrated and facilitate the information flow, we can conclude that the major functional areas in any business organization depends upon the type of business or the activities which are happening inside the organization. We also took some examples like banking, hospital, which we have been discussing till now. Further from this sessions, we are going to focus on new examples to understand how these functional areas vary from one organization to other organization. Let us now understand some of the major functional types of business systems. So, a strategic information system, which is at the top of the organization, might consist of a part of like executive information system, decision support system, and management information system. So we need to have different types of information system which is facilitating decision making. Now when we look at the order of flow of information from operational level to the top level, the diagram here helps us to understand better. When we look at the operational level, we have transaction processing systems, like maybe an order processing is coming from the purchase department or sales department or marketing department. Similarly, there might be a production master file which is leading or creating the type of what you call material resource planning systems. Accounting data which is creating a general ledger system. So we need to understand from this diagram like the type of activity which is happening at the down layer with the help of transactions processing systems is creating management information systems by segregating the data, processing and putting it in the respective departments. So in this diagram, we have like MIS files which are classified as sales data, unit product cost data, product change data, expense data, accounting data, general ledger data, materials data. So whatever is available. Now, this becomes the major crux of every information system, what we call as management information systems. Now, it usually consists of huge amount of reports or data which is generated, from which files can be created, segregated and sent to the respective managers, or the data is still integrated and made possible for the higher ups to look at the dashboard and see the data from a different angle. Now this is what an information system should facilitate in an organization. Now when we look at the operational level, the data broken is visible for that respective department or segment, something like this. Now if you see here all the departments, the four corners in the diagram represent four functional areas like manufacturing and production, finance, accounting, sales and marketing, human resources. And all these things are leading towards what you call like enterprise system, which is creating information to enable the business process. Now, you also see there are other stakeholders in this diagram, like apart from the enterprise, you have customers, business stakeholders, vendors, partners. So we see other stakeholders around the business information system who might still want to look into the data, or maybe some part of the information needs to be shared with them. So the main thing here we need to understand is, in the information system, some part of the data or information is required by the internal stakeholders, and some of this information needs to be flown or shared to the external stakeholders. Now, in such a situation, the challenging task for the organization is to maintain the security and privacy or the authentication of the internal data, as well as how much of the external data should be shared to the external stakeholders. Maybe there is a question which arises like, should we give them a login, authentication, sharing, viewing, editing of the information pertaining to the business processes? So that is where an information system needs to understand the requirements of that business entities and the stakeholders. Now, having understood all these concepts of layers of management and the functional areas of business organizations, so we were trying to understand major functional areas. So we will be breaking further discussion into understanding more about these major functional information systems. For our discussion, we are going to consider few major information systems pertaining to the functions of an organization, like marketing, finance, human resource, productions and operations, supply chain management. Having understood various layers of management information systems and the vertical layers of functional areas of business systems, Let us now explore more about every functional area. To start with, we have marketing information systems. Now, in every organization, marketing is one of the major activity. Selling and buying of goods are the major functions of marketing. Apart from this, there are a lot of other activities which are emerging out of buying and selling. It could be anything like customer relationship management, product development, order processing, or when you try to break up the components, the marketing functions can be segregated as operational level, middle level, and top level. Now, at the operational level, there might be day-to-day tasks like you have transaction processing systems which might be generating information pertaining to the sales, order movements, or it might be any other individual activity which is happening at the marketing operational level layer. Organizations might use intranet, extranets to pull in this data which is occurring at the bottom level. Now, the bottom level operations in the marketing department further create the information, generate reports, and forward it to the middle level management. Middle level management has huge task of integrating the data not only from the business activities but also from market research. Now, the tactical managers at the middle level needs to pull in lot of information pertaining to their day-to-day activities. They need not only the sales data, they also need the market information. So there is where a marketing information system is majorly created, or information contributed from the down layer makes the middle level managers to create a business intelligence pertaining to the marketing activities of the organization. And this does not happen only with the marketing department. The marketing department needs the data from the internal functional areas of a business information system. Now, the marketing department should also get the data from accounts department, human resource department, supply chain, productions, every other functional areas of the organization. Marketing research activities are one of the major set of activities which happen in marketing information system because data needs to be pulled in from multiple sources. Information pertaining to the competitor companies, customers like demographic profile and other segmentations, targeting strategies, and even positioning strategies, like you might be using a lot of internet and supply chain for all these different activities. So the marketing functions which are occurring in reality around the organization, like product development, segmenting, targeting, positioning, all these activities will also lead to certain type of information creation. Market research will overlook into all this and create the information database. Let us take an example like if a company is trying to understand how to sell the product in the market, it might do an external environmental analysis pulling in various data like political, economic, technical, socio-legal, demographic, geographic data. If we are taking only one of the external factor like demographic factor, the organization might have to get in lot of information about the customer's demographic profile, like the name, age, gender, income, occupation. Now, if that data is integrated with the geographical information, so it might include which region the customer is belonging into. When we say region, it could also be understood as like, is that customer a urban customer, a rural customer? What is that geographic profile? And further, when we extend other, layers of those external factors, what is the political situation in that country, or what is the economic status overall? Now, every bit of external factor might have influence on the data which is going into that like marketing research report system. Now, these managers at the tactical level will absorb the external environment, pull in the data, and put it as a part of the marketing business intelligence system. Now, that information is going to be very valuable for the strategic managers to make the decision. Now, it might be a decision like what is the product we need to develop in the next 5 years, or which is the country we are to enter in the next 5 years, or it might be like which is the product we need to withdraw in the next 1 year. Such long term decisions pertaining to the product and marketing is done by the strategic level managers. So, a marketing research system helps managers at all levels. Now, while the operational level managers need not involve directly in the marketing research system, they will still be part of providing information to that layer. One of the other thing what we can look into in the marketing information system is Salesforce automation. Salesforce automation is all about empowering the managers or the sales teams who are involved in the sales activities in their day-to-day activities. They might require market information or their business information pertaining to their day-to-day tasks, and this needs to be automated. Now, once this is automated, it's going to be efficient way of achieving the sales process. Any of the Salesforce pertaining activities could be integrated in this sales process. So middle level managers might be performing certain activities like sales management, sales data like regional analysis, or they might also be looking into production scheduling, interacting with the cross functional departments. They might also be doing annual budgeting or cost analysis pertaining to the marketing activities. Now, a marketing information system conceptual model might look like this. It consists of pulling in the data from the day-to-day business transactions, and we might be using transaction processing systems there, and that enables creating operational databases. What information is coming with the middle level managers and the operational level managers might be kept in internal data. Now, all the data which is collected here, the marketing information system might be classified. You can see various files or records are created like sales by customer, sales by salesperson, sales by product, pricing report, or it might be like a report pertaining to customer satisfaction, or pertaining to particular geography like segment wise data. A marketing information system, once it is created, will enable a lot of decision pertaining to the marketing of activities of an organization like production department, human resource department, because it might require scheduling of activities like who is going to be involved in the product development or number of people who are involved in the sales. Now, these activities are the information belonging to production department or human resource information systems. So we are going to learn more about this in cross-functional information systems. Now, once the data is ready at the operational level, the data needs to go to that particular individual based on the activity what they're performing. Like how we said, at strategic level and mid level, information is pulled in and given as a whole set. At the operational level, information goes based on the individual level's requirement. So maybe like an individual's sales records might look something like this. So with this, I think possible for us to understand how a marketing information system facilitates all layers of management. In this session, we are going to understand how an information system is helpful in an organization for one of the major functional area like human resource activities in an organization. An organization is made up of people, and these people are scattered or segmented in different levels in an organization. Now, when we are talking about human resource information system, at the operational level, we might have employees who are performing activities on routine basis. Similarly, we might also have people in the middle level management who are mostly doing brain jobs or what we call decision making jobs. At the strategic level, they need high level information and they comprise of intelligent activities of long term decision making. Now, when we look at human resource information system, there are various activities which could be identified throughout these three layers. Some of the common human resource activities throughout these three layers could be identified as compensation and benefit activities, people related activities like administration, payroll activities, leave and absence, training and development, performance evaluation, recruitment activities. When we try to understand the three layers of organization pertaining to human resource activities, at the operational level, there are employees who are doing various tasks. Let us say, like, if it is a market oriented company, there could be a sales force. If it is an organization like hospitals, it might have operational level people whom we can identify as like the front desk reception, nurses, office boys, duty boys. All these people form an important layer of the operational activities. Now, all of these people will be doing different jobs and creating different types of information based on their activities. Now, they need to be assisted with softwares which could enable their working as well as pool the data and provide to the higher level management to make decisions. Now, there are two things what we need to understand here. When we talk about human resource information systems, at the operational level, it is assisting these employees to perform their day-to-day activities. So you need an information system for them, which in turn pools that business activity data and flows to the upper layers. Other than this, the human resource information system will pool information pertaining to at all three layers in the organizations. Now, at the middle level management, there might be information created to like employees' records, benefits to be issued to the employees, what sort of training needs to be provided to the people, maybe some legalities pertaining to legal and compensation or other HR related recruitment policies, training to be provided, or it could be a simple thing like upgrading the employees skills inventory, or what we call it as skills development, knowledge management, skills inventory. So there are different words which are used in different companies or organizations. So at the middle level management, a human resource information system pulls in information pertaining to all these activities. Now, once the information is assembled here at the mid level, it goes up to the top level managers who make major decisions pertaining to the organizational's human resource planning, human resource development, human resource skills investment, or it could also be something like cutting down the jobs at critical times. So what we call it as like bringing down the size of the organization to the capability requirement. So there are multiple decisions which the top level managers do pertaining to the HR activities in the top management. Now, having understood these three layers, multiple activities, we will take a look at how a human resource information system looks like. In the diagram what we see a human resource information system database is connected with two particular dimensions. One is input subsystems and the other one is output subsystems. Now, if you look at the output subsystems, there are recruiting activities, workforce planning activities, compensation activities, benefits distribution, and also other environmental reporting subsystems. Maybe it is classified as one of the activity in an organization, or it can also involve certain activities like attendance management or day-to-day activities management, work completed, anything as such. Now, all this information is accessible to the middle level managers and the operational level managers. Now, once this information is flown up, it comes to the middle level managers where we see like data is processed through the input systems and sent to the internal sources, which becomes part of human resources research subsystems. Similarly, we also have environmental sources, right, which could also be part of the higher level information systems. Now, all this forms the base for human resource intelligence systems. Now, once this data is available, it would be easy for an organization to make any decisions pertaining to employees' day-to-day performance, productivity, compensation, recruitment, training, scheduling, staffing, or even in terms of benefits. Maybe if the organization is sick unit or closing, it might also involve something like issuing of voluntary retire services to the employees based on the service years or seniority level of organizations employees. So there could be a lot of information pertaining to this. A human resource information system cannot function all by itself. It is all the information about the number of people and the type of activities these people are doing in an organization to fulfill the day-to-day requirements of organization. So it is one of the critical part where we need to have information about each and every employee. Every organization needs to provide certain legalities, fulfill certain legalities, provide compensation, and also keep track of day-to-day activities of employees. Now, when you look at the individual record of an employee, it might look something like employee ID or number, employee name, what would be salary, then what are the types of taxes, benefits, allowances the employee is entitled to, and for one employee, what would be the overall payment or salary paid. Now, this was the data of one employee. Let us assume an organization has 800 employees or 10,000 employees. Now, all these 10,000 employees need not fall in one department. So, if I am bringing in one field like department or bandwidth or cadre, now most of the things in this record vary, like the salary part starts varying. Suppose if I induce one more key field like skills owned by this employee, certifications or number of years of experience. Now the overall data of this record changes. There is where an organization makes an effort to look into the human resource information systems to understand it based on one dimension of data what it wants to pay. Let us say we want to see how many employees are skilled with so and so certifications or skilled with so and so experience. Now all they need to do is come back to this database and pull into that particular field and pick up the data. Now to do that, the information should be rightly available there. All this information needs to be collected timely. So HR managers, during the appraisal process or during the interactions process, they will always make an effort to collect this data so that that column is not left empty. Data is fed there and facilitate the human resource research part. Whenever the information is required, it is updated and available for the managers to make decision. Now we looked at one record, or let us say we looked at one department's data. So we saw like 1,000 records become one database. Now what are the other type of activities a human resource information system could be beneficial for? Now when we look at why a human resource information system is beneficial, apart from this individual record level data what we were talking, it is majorly useful to understand how the overall human resources in an organizations are performing, benefited, trained, all these dimensions. Now let us just take a look at the conceptual model, because one of the major reason why human resource information system is used is for payroll systems, compensation management, recruitment purposes, etc. In the diagram, we see like one individual's employee details, like the data elements in the payroll master file is linked with legality also, like taxes and other things which are supposed to be submitted to the state government or the central government, or it might be a global standards or a policy. Now that information is flown through the payroll systems to management reports, government documents, government sections, and that individual information should also go to the employee. Now automating like these processes will help an organization to flow the information directly to the concerned employee, send the same reports to the state government, and also ensure all this data is updated and maintained relevantly in the payroll master file. So the payroll system in the diagram is enabling multiple activities pertaining to the individual's earnings, salary, as well as legality, as well as an information base to the organization. Few references from this session. And before we conclude, let us take a quick review of session highlights. Thank you.